If you don't remember, I made a video about the reveal trailer of Forza Horizon 5, and I said that it kinda sucked, and that I was absolutely slated in the comments for saying that. Although up until just before the game's release, I did agree with that statement, I realistically did judge a little bit too soon, I will admit that. Forza Horizon 5 just, for me, didn't leave a good first impression. So, I decided, with nothing else better to do with my life at the moment, to get the game via Game Pass on the 9th of November. And since then, I have been playing the game, trying everything out and enjoying it, ideally. But I decided to go back on the first video I made and see what I said and see was I right or was I wrong. So, we're going to go into that, plus a few other small things as well I would like to add and include. And so here is my review of Forza Horizon 5. The first critique I had is that the game looked exactly the same. And I will be honest and say I am wrong. Forza Horizon 5 looks a lot better than Horizon 4. Although I feel Horizon 3 and 4 looked more or less identical, Horizon 5 has definitely had a small graphics overhaul. The cars look a little bit different, the smoke is way better, and the general shading and lighting is just miles ahead. That is good news for gamers who love their eye candy, but it's bad news for my laptop, which is what I use to play Forza Horizon 5 on. I will get more on the PC port on Horizon 5 later on. But yeah, obviously, and I don't think much about graphics. Obviously good graphics are a good bonus, but if it means I have to sacrifice gameplay for for better graphics, then I wouldn't really be too bothered by it. I would be a little bit disappointed in that. But yeah, I think the graphics are a huge improvement, a much needed overhaul, as it does make the game feel a little bit different. Now let's move on to the cars. In the game trailer I said that there was a few new cars, but most other cars had returned. And I kind of criticised this by saying that there was nothing really new to offer. And if I'm honest, I'm right. After obviously trying out the few new cars and driving them and all that stuff, the cars still drive great. They've always driven good in Horizon games. I think whatever they did, I think cars are now a little bit easier to drift and stuff, which is kind of good when you're showing off, but I think they made a mistake. I think they kind of screwed up a little bit. Whatever changes they made aren't good ones. I kind of think they messed up the physics system a little bit. I discovered this when I was driving the Mark V Toyota Supra, which handles like a Ferrari F14T. If you don't know what that car is, it's a 2014 Ferrari Formula 1 car, which would understeer entering a corner and oversteer exiting a corner. It was a disaster, that car. And that's how I felt that the Toyota Supra you get at the start of the game was handled pretty much. Another issue on the starter cars in the game is that what I discovered when I was playing it on Game Pass was you pick one out of three cars like any other normal Forza Horizon game, but whatever car you pick, you basically get the other two for free added on as well. So yeah, start the game off with pretty much three cars. And that is another kind of issue. I think I'm about halfway through the main campaign, and I already have nearly 50 cars. I don't need 50 cars. You're gifted cars far too easily in Horizon 5. That's the same with Horizon 3 and 4. And that feeling of having having to grind to get something just isn't there anymore. Well, it was never there in Forza Horizon, to be honest. And that is the small little... That's the thing that's always annoying me a little bit, because I would like to actually work harder to buy the cars and set myself, or have to do a load of different challenges to be awarded them, and so on and so forth. And then there's the customization. Again, it's only a small little overhaul. The customization in Forza Horizon was always good. It was always fine. It wasn't nothing that needed a few small improvements. One thing I would say is I think they should probably copy what Need for Speed did with Payback and Heat, and that is when you can mix and match the body kits. Rather than just have the separate bumper designs and then you can choose a body kit if you want. It would be kind of cool to have the front end of the body kit, but maybe the back end of the standard kind of rear bumper or something like that. That's just me. The ability to mix and match would be a very good feature to have in Horizon 5. So yeah, the cars, not great, not terrible. I was right. which is the one thing we're happy at. So far the score is 1-1. Whereas right now. Now let's move on to the map. I much prefer the map in Horizon 5 to Horizon 4. Horizon 4's map was good and all. Like, all the maps in Horizon games are good. There's my only critique with Horizon 4's map is that it just looked the same everywhere you went. I think the seasons made it tried to make it change and look a little bit different. Which is fine, I guess. It was a good try, but it also meant that like every 3 weeks or so you had to stop playing Horizon so you can skip the winter month and then go back to spring and summer and autumn. With Horizon 5, I think the seasons it's like summer and then there's like the rainy season. I haven't really had any experiences with the new different seasons. Like I'm told I think I'm in the rainy season at the moment in the game, but it doesn't really feel any different, which is a good and a bad point. Because that means like there's not much variation, but at the same time, like I'd rather they do what they've done with Horizon 5 than Horizon 4 where you have to drive in certain seasons. Just wasn't worth it in the long run. And yeah, like the overall, like the mountains, the volcanoes, the mountain passes, the freeways, like the back roads, the drive through the jungle and all that stuff. Great additions. Much more variation in this landscape than in Horizon 4. Now, I didn't really criticize the map. I think I was just disappointed we didn't get Japan. But I'm kind of happy we got Mexico at the same time. Like, I was happy. Like, I was surprised by it. Like, I didn't think it was going to be half as good as it actually turned out to be. So, good job, Playground Games. I didn't really judge the map too much. Like, I was kind of welcoming it in open arms. So, it's still 1-1. Now, let's move on to the multiple festivals. I said this was a good idea when I said in the Horizon 5 reveal trailer. And I stand by that statement. It's way better. Like, the storyline is way better assembled, way better put together. And it encourages you to go out and gain more skill points and win more races, all sorts of stuff. So you can unlock new different chapters within the story. The multiple festivals, like the small little outposts, they're all dedicated to whatever kind of racing it is as well. Road racing, off-road racing, Baja racing, street racing, and the PR stunts. This is great. This is fine. Like, I really like this with Horizon 3 and Horizon 2 did this, where it's like almost like a tour. And I kind of like that because it means you get to drive to different parts of the map and you get to try different races around there as well. So, great addition, I must say, on the multiple festivals idea. The only thing that annoys me about Horizon 3, 4, 2 as well, and Horizon 5 is done as well, is that the street racing doesn't feel secret anymore. That's annoying because I remember in Horizon 1 it was like a top secret thing and nobody really knew about it. Now, it was cool because it kind of meant you could like break away from the glitz and glamour of the Horizon Festival. But the street racing is like they play it off as a secret, but it just isn't anymore. Like, and another thing that is kind of like annoying is Jamin is back. For feck's sake. But what else can you really do? Really? Anyway, let's move on to the last and kind of the most important question I'd ask. Was this game just Horizon 4.5? I said that it looked like it, and all you guys went mad in the comments. And you guys, I'm afraid, are going to get even madder because I still believe that this is the case. There is just a lack of innovation with the Forza Horizon franchise. Yes, they still make good games. And yes, I would still put hours and hours into the game. So, Playground Games have obviously done something good with the game itself. But I feel like I'm playing the same game over and over and over again. Now, I'll admit, with racing games, there's not a lot of innovation and change you can do. Maybe with like simulators, you can say this game's more realistic or something like that. One thing I will say, Horizon 5 is obviously very user-friendly. But it, other than like the slight graphic change, it still looks very similar. And I kind of still feel that there were some shortcuts taken, like some things were just taken directly out of the previous Horizon 3 and 4. The menu, although it's changed, still looks the same. Like, obviously some stuff was just directly imported over. And it's not that the game is not different. It is different. It just feels the same. And I think that's what they're trying to do with the physics. Try to change the car a little bit to make it like a bit more enjoyable to drive or more drifty so it feels different. But I don't really think it feels too different. I just think it feels worse. That doesn't really make a lot of sense. But yeah, like, again, all the stuff that made Horizon 4 good is in Horizon 5, which is great. But at the same time, the Horizon franchise just needs more change. The game needs to be different. Like, I didn't buy this game outright. I got it through Game Pass. So there was like a 1 month subscription for €1. So I only paid €1 to play this game. Money well spent, I will say that. But video games are supposed to be about like a group of people coming together and innovating and creating this new groundbreaking title and all that stuff. And the Horizon games just don't have that anymore. The first two were kind of different to each other, but yeah, like even comparing Horizon 1 to Horizon 5 or Horizon 3 to Horizon 5, there's not a lot of differences in it, and that was a little bit disappointing, I will say that, but I was expecting that. So if we were to go through all the things I talked about, the graphics, the cars, the map, the multiple festivals, and whether this game was just an update for Horizon 4, overall, comparing my opinion on the first trailer to now, I was right. It was a very ignorant thing to say, and you're going to say, oh, of course you can say you're right, because you're great and all that stuff, but I am. If you go watch my first trailer reaction video or flick through the comments over the last few days, people agree with me now. I was dogged between June and now. And once the game came out, people were kind of like, yeah, it's kind of boring, yeah, it's kind of whatever, feels the same, you're kind of right in this, I agree. So, yeah, obviously, this game, despite getting incredible reviews, better than ever, for a Forza game, the fans are still divided. Is Forza Horizon 5 a bad game, though? No. I'm just going to say it right there. It's a better than good game. Like, it's well above average. But it's just the feeling of deja vu again and again and again. And like, I know if any other game tried to do this, they would be slated. Which makes me realize just how inaccurate game reviews I've gotten recently. I'm biased, and they're obviously being bribed to give a good review and stuff for that, which is terrible for journalism and marketing. And well, it's great for marketing, but terrible for like real, truthful, and honest game reviews. So, is there anything else I want to talk about Horizon 5? Well, there are a good few glitches in Horizon 5. Like, sometimes the car's engine notes won't work, or I was driving a Zenvo earlier on, and the exhaust note completely changed from like a V6 kind of sounding car to almost like a V10. It was really weird. And I'm getting low bandwidth issues, but I think that's because I'm playing the game on Game Pass, and I'm also playing on HDD and not an SSD. I'm going to be changing that on my laptop soon enough. And as for the PC port, it needs work. But like, I remember Horizon 4 when it first came out, like I got the game at 3 months after its release, and it still had loads of glitches in it. It was really disappointing at first, but they managed to fix them in the long run. In fact, I had 3 years to fix them, so I can't blame them too much for that. And yeah, overall, like, Horizon 5 is a good game. I will give it maybe a 7.5, maybe an 8 out of 10. Like, obviously, it does a lot of things really well, and it's such an easy game to pick up and play, and all your friends can play with you as well. It's solid, but the same. Same but different is how I would sum up Horizon 5. Yeah, so that's all I have to say about this. I know this is a really long video, guys, and I really appreciate you all for sitting around and watching it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that like button, please, if you want to see more videos like this, or if you want me to talk about any other games or such. If you don't want me to play a game that isn't even a racing game or something completely different to see how bad I am at it, then let me know. And yeah, if there's anything else you want to call me out on, or criticize, or support, or anything like that, leave it in the comments below. And yeah, I hope to see you guys all very, very soon.
Yes.